Come on. This might be amusing.
What is up, guys? X-Edge here, and we are back once again with a fighting game monthly mix. Now, first of all, before I do go into anything, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has taken the time to reach out to me, just message me and let me know about other things that I can just make other people aware of. This is what I like, you know, when it comes to just being part of the community and just being able to share things so we can all just have a good time, play games, chill, and do all of that. Now, with that said, I'm sure you know how the theme of this thing goes, where I will talk about all the games that I've gone over this month. Now, this was done in March, this list. There weren't that many games that I played, but I have extended it, so I will just let you guys know about that as we go on. But without further ado, let us go on with this list. So the first game we have on the list is Ben 10 Omniverse Final Clash. This is a Flash game that is available to play with Flashpoint if you have that one installed, in which, of course, with every game that I'll include here, I'll try and pop a link into the description where you can find these things. But yeah, this is just a quick fighting game. This is one of those mini games that you would find on the Cartoon Network page, but obviously when everything went down, this was the next best place to find it. You know, for a Flash game, it's very easy to get into. Controls are no problem at all. I won't say I cheat, but I use a controller just for that extra comfortability because I can do so, and that's just how things work nowadays because things are just that accessible. But yeah, the game plays well, nothing to, you know, write home about and be like, yeah, this is crazy, go and play it. But it's fun. If you want to just kick back, relax, and, you know, spend 10, 15, or maybe 20 minutes on a fighting game, just have some fun, this is a game that I would just happily recommend to you guys. Try out, have fun, and just get on with your day. But yeah, that is Ben 10 Omniverse Final Clash. The next game we have on the list is Tekken 7, to which, no surprise, everybody knows about this game. It's huge, over 7 million copies sold, maybe even more before I put this video out, I have no idea, but the game is doing very well. And of course, during the month of March, in which I did do this video, was also when Lydia was introduced into the game and added as a new character. So that's why this is also on the list. But yeah, other than that, Tekken 7 is a game that's been going on very strong, not only within, you know, the community in general, but with myself. Tekken was the first game that I actually uploaded on the channel, Tekken Revolution to be exact. But it's been part of my life for over a decade. I love the series, I love where it's going. I think at the point in which the game is at now, it's reached its peak. So if anything else does get added to the game, I guess that's good, but I think I'm alright with everything for now. You know, season 4 is great. If there's a season 5, I think it's a bit too much, but not to take away from, you know, the gameplay, the graphics, anything like that. The game is fantastic. Everyone should try it. I know it doesn't exactly come across as a fighting game that a lot of beginners can get into. I mean, they have tried to simplify it with the easy command button thing. I don't know whether it is because I don't use it, where you can just, you know, string some attacks by pressing a specific button over and over again. But yeah, I'm beyond that basically. But yeah, that is Tekken 7. It's out there, guys. Definitely check it out. I could go on about Tekken 7 all day, but I'm gonna leave it as that for now. But yeah, it's Tekken 7. The next game on the list is Spirit Fighters. Wow. Well, to be honest, I don't really have much to say about this game, but according to the information of the game, Spirit Fighters is a casual fighting game with controls that are easy to use and various move combinations. I played the game for myself. Looking at the trailer, I wasn't really blown away or anything like that. I just thought, okay, cool, this is just going to be another game that we're just going to, you know, play, have a bit of fun of, and just leave it. And that is exactly how it turned out. But in fact, even worse. The controls, especially even when trying to use my controller, I had a lot of difficulties with that. and trying to switch and emulate and do this and do that. The controls itself were horrible. Whether they say it's easy or not, the whole full controller support thing was not working for me. I don't know if you guys were to try it, you would experience the same thing, but it was horrible nonetheless. And the game itself, it's very sluggish. The way they animate the punches and kicks in the game, it looks like something out of a comic book movie. Like when they go for a strike, you're expecting to see in big titles bam, oof, pow, and all of that stuff. It was really strange, and everybody practically played the same. There was no diversity, there was nothing like that. Yeah, you had your arcade survival, you know, things like that would normally be in a fighting game, but there wasn't really much to say after that. And they also have this weird thing called Spirit Phase that can help you apparently take advantage of the match and the spirit attacks. But it sounds cool, but when translated into the game and seeing it, it just didn't really translate as much. So even though I'm bashing on the game, that was just my personal experience of it. But yeah, again, this is something that you guys can try out for yourself. So again, as always, just making you aware of this game. And that is all I have to say about Spirit Fighters. The next game on the list is Uchu Mega Fight. This is just a really cool game in general. It's simple yet so fun. I really enjoyed delving into this one. This game is a web browser game, so it's very easy to access. Click on the link and you're just pretty much ready to play. And even when using my PS4 controller, it was just very easy in terms of controls. I didn't have to change or alter anything. It just felt like plug in and play, and boom, I was on it. Very cool stuff. It kind of feels like, and it does play like Street Fighter rather, in terms of controls. A little bit more Mortal Kombat based in terms of the inputs. And it's one of those things that's easy to explain if you were to play it for yourself. Easy controls. Go into the menu, you've got your start if you just want to have that, you know, that one play experience. You got versus, you got training, and you have the combo dojo as well. So the game even has like little trials that you can do for each character, in which maybe at some point I'll probably do something with that, because it's just cool. I like those kind of things. You guys know how with this channel I love putting up trials and stuff like that. I find that stuff rewarding and cool at the same time. But yeah, so you know, with this game, 8 characters to choose from, and depending on the amount of times that you go through the one player mode, you'll get enough stars to be able to unlock the 3 characters that are in the game. And even when I went back to the game, came back, my progress was all still there, so it's nothing that you can lose, nothing to worry about there. But in general, such a cool game to play, and it's one of those games that if I can find someone else to play it with, it'll be really cool. I mean, the versus option was there, so I don't know if it's versus you can do online. I'm assuming it is, similar to another game that we'll probably get to in future that's also a browser fighting game. But yeah, really cool game in general. Recommend it to all of you guys. Have fun with this one. I personally recommend it. I had a lot of fun with it, and yeah, you know, really enjoyed this one. So that is Uchu Mega Fight. The next game on the list is called the Chaos Gene. I liked this one. I like where it's going, and shouts to the developer, shouts to Andrew T Productions for this. He blessed me with a free copy of the game, and I was able to, you know, delve around with it. And if you guys saw the other video that I did put up about the video a while ago, like, I had fun with the game. I'm very eager to see where this game will go. I've seen a lot of games that use this same engine, but just to see that really nice flair of originality in terms of the love and care that he puts into each characters. And even as I watched the progression through the Twitter posts about the new specials he put into the game, the tweaks and stuff, always asking for feedback and reaching out to people, it's good. It shows that he cares about the game. And even as in the description of the game it says, you know, the Chaos Gene is an indie casual fighting game inspired by some of the classic fighting games that he grew up playing in the arcade. So this isn't just someone throwing a game out there and just thinking, hey, I can make a quick buck. This is someone who's genuinely, you know, enthusiastic about fighting games based on what he grew up with, and now he's trying to translate that into his own fighting game. And again, I like where it's going. There were some things obviously that I mentioned in the video that, again, because this game is subject to change, there's a lot of changes that are going to be made, you know, such as the super bar meter just being a little bit brighter. There's been a lot of floating and things in the game, and he's slowly addressing this even as I'm talking about it now. And as I reach out, give him my own feedback, and other people who have played the game will also do the same thing. The game can only get better from here. You know, things such as online and stuff like that, all that sort of stuff will be implemented later. Usually when I dive into these games, I usually go straight into the arcade mode just to get a feel of the game, have fun, and then go from there. But yeah, other than that, I really like this game. I would like to get some sets with people. I say that with games that I genuinely enjoy, and I think I'll enjoy it a lot more when playing with someone, and this is one of those games for me. But regardless of that, it's a cool game. I like where it's going, and again, shouts to you, to the creator of this game. I only want it to go forward from here. But yeah, that is the Chaos Gene. And lastly, for the games that I played in March, we have Last Rites. This was an interesting one that I found on here. So this game is a 2D hand-drawn fighting game set in a dark fantasy overrun with monsters. And you basically get to play as the three characters in the game. You play as Gravedigger, Vampire, and the Knight, all with their own unique movesets and play styles. And I just breezed through the story mode. It was cool to get a feel of the game with the story mode because I got a chance to play as all three of the characters, if I recall correctly. And I liked where it was going. The reason why I say liked is because I'm not sure if anything else is going to happen with this game. If I recall correctly, this game was done in 9 months, and it was done by a media design school, art bachelor students, if I remember correctly. So this is them just putting their project out and just like, yep, we know how to make a game and we've done it. So that's pretty much it. But in terms of, you know, what the game has to offer, it's cool. It's cool. I can jam to it for a bit and then of course leave it, because I think that's how it's kind of been portrayed in this. I don't think the game's going to get any more updates or anything like that. It was just done more of a, you know, just a project. And controls are fine. Getting into the game was fine. I didn't have any problems with that at all. That's very important for me, especially when I'm delving into some of these PC fighting games and stuff like that, where sometimes control configurations can be a bit of an issue compared to, of course, when it comes to console gaming, which that is never an issue at all. But yeah, I liked this one. I liked where it was going. I liked the mechanics in the game. I really wanted to see more. I was very hopeful for the game. Yeah, that's pretty much what I can say about it. If you guys, again, want to try it for yourselves, in which I hope you do, let me know what you think about it. But yeah, that is Last Rites. As I did mention earlier in this video, where I only played a few number of games, I'm going to do like a little bonus side to it. So this next game was something I actually forgot to include in one of my previous videos, and that is a game called Endless Night. This is just funny. It's a lot of fun. Just every time I play this with someone, the last couple of people that I played it with, we just had a barrel of laughs. You know, we were going at it for about half an hour to an hour because matches end so quickly. You know, you've been dismembered, you falling off from a ring out, and just things like that. It's just very fun in general. It's one of those ones that I feel as if I need to create a list for these type of games where it's just like a one-hit death. A sudden death thing rather, aspect to it. But I had a lot of fun with this one. Going there, you can increase the speed of the game, you can even change the swords to lightsabers, and just all these little tweaks here and there that you can make to the game just to make it fun for you is very cool and interesting at the same time. Like the core aspects of it, great game to have a good laugh on, and yeah, I guarantee that you'll at least have a laugh when playing this game. But that is Endless Night. And for the last 4 games, shoutouts to C3P Awesome for this. We had a session where we played all of these games through his recommendation, and I had a lot of fun with all of these ones. And I hope you guys will too, as I mentioned in this video. So, the first one is American Dad versus Family Guy Kung Fu 2. This is just It's funny, it's weird, and it's definitely not one to be taken seriously. And I didn't think I'd be mentioning another game that you would have to get through Flashpoint, but there you go. So again, this is another Flash fighting game to play. There are no health bars. There's just one bar on each side, on the left and right side of the screen, that lets you know, danger, you're about to die and all that kind of stuff. And it's even got Ryu in the game, which is just hilarious. And I remember him going through the info about this game and why he was even included and things like that. But the game itself, it's just, I think it's just a joke. It's a joke fighting game. Do not take it seriously. Don't go ham on this game. Just have fun. And I think that was perfectly translated into this game. That was all we did. Spent at least 10-20 minutes on it. And yeah, I think the gameplay speaks for itself, because it's kind of hard for me to explain the mechanics and stuff. You can't really do that with a Flash game, but this is the game, this is how it's played. There you go. Whether you play it or not is completely up to you. But yeah, that is American Dad versus Family Guy Kung Fu 2. The next game is Force Combat. Now, if this was supposed to be a reply or an improvement of whatever that abomination of the first Star Wars, I can't even remember the title of it, something Terrordrome, that fighting game that was done on the PS1, I still call that one of the worst fighting games I've ever played. This, however, is great. This is done by one man. This fighting game, this fan-made Star Wars fighting game, is so much better than an officially licensed PS1 fighting game. This is actually really good, like in terms of the gameplay, the graphics, everything like that. I could go on. Like, if you've played the PS1 Star Wars fighter, you will know what I mean. You will know exactly where I'm going with this one. And then when you look at this one, it's just like, oh, okay. Is this supposed to be the sequel to it? Well, whatever it is, it's definitely much better. Force Combat is an amazing fan fighting game, and I think a lot of people will be behind this one. I may not be a Star Wars fan, but I appreciate what has been done into this game and what's been implemented. I've been seeing all the updates, all the characters that have been added, the stages. A lot of love and care has been put into this game, and it only gets better with time. And again, with most of the fighting games that I will mention in future, this one is still being worked on as we speak. And again, this is done by only one person, so everything that you're seeing now, one person has taken idea of just making a Star Wars fighting game and has brought it into a reality that is Force Combat. The controls feel great, and again, it's because I'm comparing it to the first one that I have so much to say in terms of the accessibility and stuff like that for it. I could go on with this game. I would definitely say try this one, just simply as a fighting game fanatic. Try this one. If you're a Star Wars fan, that's a huge bonus to you, because unless there's another game out there that's in the works in terms of fighting game, it doesn't get any better than this. I'm telling you that right now, until I mention the next game. And that next game is Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. Now, this one is a game within a game. I don't know too much about the main game, but with the fighting game within this Revenge of the Sith game is awesome. And again, a huge shout out to C3PO Awesome. If you want to learn more about this game in terms of the mechanics, the controls, he is your guru for that. And he's taught me a lot to this game. And again, this is so good coming from a fighting game within a game. The core mechanics, everything around it. There's even a Discord for this game. It's really cool, the combos you can pull off. I could keep going on about the mechanics because it's very in-depth. This isn't one that you will just pick up and think, okay, you will learn everything within 5 minutes. This one takes time. If you want to be good at this game, you got to put in the time into it, and the game can only grow if it has a great community backing it. Because again, this is a PS2 game within a game that is only just not necessarily being discovered now, but being brought to light that, hey, look, there's this game out here. If you want to try it, that's why I'm making you aware of it. And it's really cool. I feel like I could have multiple sessions with people on this game and get more people into it as well. I could say a lot about it, but I think I've said enough there. There are only a handful of characters, I believe, somewhere around the region of 9, 10, if you're a Star Wars fighting game fan. You know, you've got Darth Vader, Mace Windu, Luke Skywalker, you know, most of the important characters, so to speak, in this game, because I know there's just a vast universe out there with Star Wars characters, but only just a selected few were in this game. But definitely try out this game. It's a cool 3D arena fighter, and you will definitely not regret it. And last but not least for this list of this month is Terrordrome, Rise of the Boogeyman. If you love horror, you will love this fighting game. Now, I'm not too much of a horror fanatic, and most of my knowledge of these characters actually comes from Dead by Daylight, surprisingly. But let me not deviate from that. This game just puts all of the most classic and known horror icons into one fighter, and they just go out and do some crazy stuff. So, you know, in this game, you have, you know, Freddy Krueger, Leatherface, Michael Myers, Ghostface. Like, I could go on there. There are quite a lot of characters that you would at least heard of. And it just puts them together into this crazy fight, and they do crazy stuff. Again, mechanics, controls on this game, easy to access, easy to get into, difficult to master. And I've seen a lot of videos of online matches between people with this game. So this has been going on for at least 3 years, as far as I'm concerned, 3 or 4 years, and I'm only just getting into it now. But yeah, this was actually really good. You don't have to be a horror fanatic to enjoy this game, but of course you will enjoy it more if you are. The characters, the controls, the way they're represented in this game, it doesn't take away from their origin, if you know what I mean, in terms of the series that these guys all originate from. And for them to be able to come together into this crazy fight and just beat the crap out of each other, it's very amusing and it's cool at the same time. So again, if you love horror related stuff, this is the fighting game for you. I would not point to anything else. This is the one. And I do believe there is another early access fighting game in which we will mention in future. And I believe that is one by the name of Reign of Legend. So I think that one is after Terrordrome Rise of the Boogeyman. I think that one's after. I'm not 100% sure, but I will let you guys know in future when I do know 100%. But yeah, guys, that is my list for today. Those are all of the games that I played in March and some bonus ones that I added in there. So I hope there's something in that list that maybe you never heard of before that you want to try. All of the links, as usual, I will pop in the description if you want to try out these games for yourself. If you have any other games that you want to recommend to me, I will be sure to do that. What I actually was going to do in this video was have a list of all of the other games I was going to include, but shouts to Caden Macklin for this, as he was the one that left me a message bringing this one up, and I will address that one in another video, because I think that if I went into that list and added it here, the video would be a bit too long. So that one's going to be for a separate video, and that will just talk about more of the indie fighting games. There's a whole list of them, and I just want to be able to show you guys and just make this thing a lot more known. You know, more games for you guys to try out, more things for you to have fun with. You know how it goes on this channel and with how I do things. But other than that, thank you very much guys for watching, and as always, good games and peace out.